Good morning, Year 6, and welcome to Wednesday's maths lesson. We are going to warm our brains up mathematically by having a look at how quickly you can recall your 4 times table and your 6 times tables facts. I've got 2 multiplication wheels behind me. Remember the inner part of the wheel. What do I multiply by 4 here to get the products on the outside? Here, what do I multiply by 6 to get products around the outside? All right, now you'll need your purple book. You'll need something to write with. Now, you might want to make yourself, give yourself a bit of an extra challenge by setting yourself a timer. That could be 2 or 3 minutes and see how many you can get right in that time. Now, you can either draw the wheels out, or you can write the questions down, or you can simply write the answers. It's entirely up to you. But have a little go, pause the video, off you go. Okay, Year 6, let's see how you got on, shall we? So 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 threes are 12. 4 times 12 is 48. 4 times 5 is 20. Oh, my board does not want to write today, does it? There we go. Okay, 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 7 is 28. 4 times 11 is 44. 4 eights are 32. 4 nines are 36. 4 fours are 16. 4 times 10 is 40, and 4 times 1 is 4. Hopefully, you've got all of those correct. Let's have a look at our 6 times table then. So 6 times 11 is 66, 6 sevens, 42, 6 times 9 is 54, 6 times 2 is 12, 6 times 12, 72, 6 eights, 48, 6 times 4, we know that because 4 times 6, so 6 times 4 is 24, 6 fives are 30, 6 threes are 18, 1 times 6 is 6, 6 tens are 60, and 6 sixes are 36. So hopefully you've managed to do incredibly well and you've remembered both of those times tables. That links in very well with what we're going to be doing today, because we're going to be looking at some multiplication. And we're going to be looking at multiplying decimal numbers by 10, 100 and 1000. Now, we have multiplied whole numbers by 10, 100 and 1000 a little while ago. So we're just moving away from that a little bit and into those decimal numbers. So we're going to warm ourselves up again, thinking about what happens when we multiply by 10. Now, remember that when we multiply by 10, the digits move one place to the left, and we may need to add a 0 placeholder to fill in any gaps in our number grid. Okay, so when you've got a whole number, you've got a 2-digit number like this, it's nice and easy, because if we move the digits one place along, we're always going to end up with a gap in our ones column. Okay, so we need to put a 0 there to fill that gap, because we can't have 800s, 110 and then nothing. Okay, you've got to put the 0 in there so it makes the complete number. So let's have a little look then. 81 multiplied by 10, move the digits along, add a 0, and we end up with 810. I'll do one more. 28 places, it goes one place to the left because we've got 1 0 in the 10. Okay, one place to the left, and we fill the gap with a 0, so it becomes 280, which is over here. So you're going to turn to book 5, page 12, and have a little go at question 1. Can you find and match up the 2-digit number with its answer when you multiply by 10? Okay, pause the video, have a little go. Right, so 10 times bigger these numbers are. So let's have a little look then. So 55 becomes 550. 37 becomes 370. 63, 630, 46, 460, 72 becomes 720, 54, 540, and 90 becomes 900. Hopefully you spotted them all. So what happens when we have larger numbers then? Well, exactly the same thing. The digits move because we're multiplying by 10 again here. The digits move one place to the left. And so we have to fill any gaps with zero placeholders. So let's have a look then at a grid. So we've got ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, and then we're going to do tens of thousands. Okay. And let's put our digits on and let's see our numbers on our grid and let's see what happens when we move those digits one place. So here we go. I've got start off with 1,573. Okay. So now I'm multiplying by 10. So those digits are going to move one place to the left. So that 1 is now going to go here. The 5 there. Excuse me. 7 goes there. The 3 there. Now can you see my ones column here is empty and I can't have that. So we'll put a zero placeholder. So 1,573 becomes 15,730. 15,730. So, book 5, page 12, this is question 3. I want you to have a little go. You might want to draw the grid and help move those digits along. Okay, remember we're multiplying by 10, so they go one place, and see if you can find the answers to each of those. Pause the video, off you go. Right, let's see how you got on then. So 6,492 becomes 64,920. 3,210 becomes 32,100. 8,958 becomes 89,580. 5,386 becomes 53,860. And then 1,782 becomes 17,820. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So let's have a look at what happens then now when we add decimals into the mix. Okay. So a decimal number is simply, it's a number where the whole part of that number is separated from the parts of that number with a decimal point. A decimal point never ever moves, but the digits can move either side, and they can move in any number of places. So if we're multiplying by 10, they will move one place to the left. If we're multiplying by 100, they move two places to the left. If we're multiplying by 1,000, 3 places to the left. Okay. So let's have a little look then at 0.4 times 10. So I've got 0.4, and that tells me I've got no ones, but I've got 4/10. So I've got 4 parts. I'm heading up to getting one whole one. Okay, but I'm not there yet. So 0.4. So if we were thinking about money, that could be no pounds, 40 pence. Okay, so what happens when I multiply that by 10? Well, these digits move one place to the left, just like they did with the whole numbers we were using previously. Okay, so my 0 will now move to here. My 4 will jump over to here, and my decimal point stays where it is. Now, because it's 4 ones, I don't actually need to write that. I don't need to put my decimal point, and I don't need to put anything after that. So I could just write that as 4. So 0.4 times 10 becomes 4. Let's have a little look then at 3.7 times 100 then. Just wipe that out. So I've got 3.7 and I'm multiplying it by 100. So this time my digits are going to move 2 places to the left. So 1, 2, my 3 ends up here. 1, 2, my 7 ends up here. Now you'll notice I've got a gap here. I've got no 1, so I've got to put a 0 to tell me I have no 1s. I can't leave that part empty. Okay, so 3.7 times 100 becomes 370. And again, I don't need to put the decimal point there because I've got nothing coming after it. So I can just leave it as 370, just like the 4. I got nothing after that, so I could just write it as 4. Okay, so let's have a little look then at 5.637, and we're going to times it. I'm going to put another 0 here. I'm going to put it times 1,000. So we've had a little go at each one. Okay, so I've got 5.637, and I'm going to multiply it by 1,000. So they're going to go 3 places this time. Okay, so my 5, 1, 2, 3 is going to end up here. Okay, all right, my 6, 1, 2, 3 is going to end up there. I've got my comma in there. My 3, 1, 2, 3 ends up there, and my 7, 1, 2, 3 ends up there. Again, I don't need any 0 placeholders because nothing is coming after that number now. Okay, after that 7, because it's moved 3 places to the left, I don't need to put any 0 placeholders. So 5.637 times 1,000 is 5,637. Okay, so what do I want you to do? Well, I have got lots and lots of questions on the board that I want you to have a little go at. Now, my suggestion is that you draw yourself a grid like mine, okay? So you can have your 10,000s, thousands, hundreds, tens, ones. Up to you if you have this particular grid has got a column for the comma, but you don't need to have that. Okay. So, but make sure you've got your decimal point, and then afterwards tenths, hundredths, thousands. So make sure you draw your grid, and then you're going to have a little go at the questions on the board for yourself and see if you can multiply each of those numbers you've been given by 10, 100 and 1,000. Okay, have a little look at the question and just make sure you understand it. So if I have a look, those are the ones you're going to have a little go at. Okay, now if you're clever, you'll know that we've had a go at those 3 here. All right, so you can skip back and have a little look, see if you've got the same answer. But what you're going to do, so your first one, 59 times 10, then 43 times 100, etc. So you're going to work your way down and down here and see if you can get all of your answers. All right, so make sure you do your grid each time, and then you can pause the video and have a little go at them. Okay, off you go. Right, so you've had a little go. Now you should be really top drawer, fantastic at multiplying by decimals by 10, 100 and 1,000. But just to make sure, you can have a little practice at a page in your book. So you're not going to do the whole page. You are simply going to do page 13, question 1. So I've got it under my visualizer here. Okay. Make sure it's nice and clear. So if you look at page 13, you're just going to do this question. Now, some of the numbers you've been given. So you've been given 46, and that whole row's been done for you to remind you how to do it. You've been given 92.19, you've been given 22.281, and you've been given 61.9. In the ones where you've got the gaps here, you've got to work out what this first number is. So here, if you multiply by 10, so the digits have all moved one place to the left. So if you move all one place to the right, you'll know what your starting number is there, okay? Similarly, here, you've multiplied a number and you've ended up with, when you've multiplied it by 1,000, you've ended up with 70,290. So those digits have all moved 3 places to the left. So if you move them 3 places to the right, you will get what your starting number is, and then you can fill in the blanks. So you are only doing question 1 today. That's on page 13. Okay? Have a little go. It's exactly the same as you've just been doing. Just been multiplying by 10, 100, and 1,000. And we've got some decimal numbers. Okay? So remember, decimal point doesn't change. The digits move. And because we're multiplying these, they all move. Multiplying by 10, 1 place to the left. Multiply by 100, they move 2 places to the left. Multiply by 1,000, 3 places to the left. Remember, you might want to draw your grid so that it can help you. Okay. So when you've done that, I've got a little challenge for you here. And the challenge is this. So which is it 10, 100, or 1,000 goes in the box to get the answers that you've been given? So what do I multiply 76 by to get 760? 8.26. What do I multiply that by to get 8,260, etc. So you've got a series of questions here, and what you've got to do is in the box, is it a 10, 100, or 1,000 as the answer? All right, I am sure you are going to do brilliantly with this, and I look forward to seeing what you get up to. Have a lovely Wednesday, and I shall see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.